Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got a short little knife review slash knife overview to share with you guys. This is the Sencut Fritch, or at least that is how I'm going to pronounce it. I believe that that is the case. This is a budget knife. This is an inexpensive knife. It is a very simple knife, and it does not require a complex review. Thanks so much to my... it's kind of a joke and kind of not, right? And it's just like that's just the word that I chose. Thanks so much to Sencut/Civivi/we for sending this knife in for review. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me, and please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. By the time you're watching this video, this will absolutely be available, so you can check it out by using the link right down in the description. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that is entirely up to you. Overall length of the Fritch coming in at 6.85 inches overall. That's redundant. Blade length is coming in just shy of 3 inches. I'd be careful about that in some states. Cutting edge is also coming in just shy of 3 inches. Let's go ahead and do just a few size comparisons. How about up against the Ontario Rat Model 1 and the Ontario Rat Model 2? This is similar in size to the Rat 2, but it is a little bit bigger. Let's put it up against the Demco AD 20.5. There we go. How about up against the Benchmade Bugout? There we go. And finally, we'll put it up against the Spyderco Para 3. Alrighty, how's the action on this guy? If you've never handled a Sencut/Civivi, they have very good overall quality for the money, for sure. The action is all tuned almost identical. Every flipper feels good. It's not too heavy, not too light, right? This one's a little bit pokey, but it absolutely has enough leverage to fire it into place. Thumb studs are also decent. They're a little bit small, but not anything that's going to tear up your fingers. Action's good. Action's what you can expect from a Sencut Civivi, and they kind of lead the way in, you know, making sure that the D10's dialed in and that it feels good, right? It's easy to deploy for what it is. Nothing spectacular. Let's go ahead and do carry profile thickness up against the Spyderco Para 3. You can see here that this is not really all that thick of a knife. In fact, it's actually a little bit thinner than the Para 3. Length and height up against the PM2 and Para 3. Once again, it's just not really all that, it's not very big, right? Lengthwise, it's shorter than the Para 3. Maximum height still doesn't quite approach that hump there. It's nowhere near the size of the PM2. Not going to take up too much room in your pocket. What are we looking at for materials? In this case, we have green micarta and then a sort of like a tumbled coated 9CR 18 MOV blade, which is fine for the money. 9CR 18 MOV is a fine composition for what they're asking for this, which we will get to here in a moment. And then we have steel liners, not nested. They are lipped, and they have also been milled out for weight reduction. So weight on this guy, I'm going to guess this thing weighs about 3¼ ounces, maybe. Oh, so close, 3.14 ounces, which is great because we have about a 3-inch blade, so the ratios are pretty good on this guy. Balance is going to be, getting used to the camera, right behind the pivot, which is great. It doesn't feel like a heavy knife. It feels like a compact, EDC folding knife, which is exactly what it is. Let's go ahead and get out my tools for a hardware check. As per usual, my tools are very inexpensive and very recommendable. You can find them right down in the section of my description that talks about the tools I use on this channel. The pivot, like other Sencut knives, is a T8. Same with the body screws, which there are 2 of on each side. And then we have T6 pocket clip screws, which is fine. This is simple, straightforward, minimal hardware, good construction. Proper tools will, always aid you, of course, but it's nice that there are the right size fasteners, in my opinion, and that there's very minimal hardware if you ever need to take it apart. Blade stock thickness. Let's go ahead and measure that here real quick. I'm going to guess this is like most other Sencuts, and it comes in at like 115 to 120 thousandths. Let's give it a go. And yeah, 116 thousandths or so. Okay, fairly thin blade. Let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes here. Wow, this is extremely similar to everything else that they've got, right? This is incredibly straightforward. I mean, it is a combination of so many different generic designs with just a few edges shaved off here or there. Did we need this? Not really. Is it okay that it exists? Sure. Some people like to collect inexpensive knives, right? Or they just want something a little bit different without having to break the bank, right? This allows people to do that, especially if they like a simple, minimalist, functional aesthetic, right? That's fine. The grip on this is all right. It's no ergonomic masterpiece, but there's a nice lock-in. The edges are nicely chamfered down. The pocket clip is, once again, something that I feel immediately because the bill is too pronounced. I don't like this. It's very grabby. It's made of steel. The first thing you walk by that's got a ledge, that pocket clip's going to be more likely to grab it and bend out. I really wish that they shaved those down, but they seem to really like this clip and don't show signs of changing it. So whatever. It's not really that big of a deal. But the knife is reasonably comfortable. If your hands are about my size, I wear an XL glove. You're going to have your pinky slipping off the end. If your hands are a little bit smaller, you might have a little bit of room. If your hands are larger than mine, this is probably going to feel a little bit too small for you. Access to the lock bar is good. You can see that it's cut slightly lower on the show side scale than the little jimps in the liner lock, and you can easily get it to drop. Catch your thumb on the flipper tab, and then you can turn it and let it drop into the closed position if you want to. It's pretty easy to manipulate. This is a little bit, like if you just sit here and do this over and over and over again, that liner is going to tear into your thumb a little bit. It's kind of abrupt, and it's at a 90-degree angle, but that's the case with a lot of these inexpensive liner locks, right? For what it's going to be used for, which is just to get out and deploy it, cut something real quick and put it back in your pocket, it'll be just fine. The blade is kind of a... I don't know. What do you guys want to call this? Some sort of modified reverse tanto or what? Modified reverse sheep's tanto? Whatever, right? The nose is pointed down a little bit. The thing that I like about this, right, I don't want to get hung up on classifying the blade. I'll let you guys do that down there in the comments section. But getting my finger up here on the nose is nice. I like to be able to do draw cuts and feel comfortable, like I'm not going to run over the tip and puncture myself, right? It's just easier to do with a blade like this versus a traditional drop point blade, right? There's still belly though, and the cutting edge is fairly thin, as is the case with pretty much all Civivi and Sencut knives. Their factory edges are just amazing. They do such a good job. So always really happy to see that. There is a flat that carries out maybe 70 or so % the length of the blade, and there's a swedge up here on whatever we want to call this, whatever blade shape we want to call this. The thumb studs are a little bit in the cutting path. There's about 1/4 of an inch, maybe even 1/3 of an inch or so, that if you cut straight down, you're going to catch those thumb studs. But most people cut kind of at an angle, even when they're doing push cuts, right? Or like a heavy power cut like this. So just be cognizant of that. It might slow you down if you're running into the thumb stud, but not really that big of a deal. There's like a lot of Civivis, there's an area right here where you could roll the dice and put your index finger up here, just one knuckle if you really need to choke up. You just have to be really careful about it. I don't think this is a dedicated position for your index finger, but it is there. That's about it on the blade. I mean, it's done the same as every other Civivi I've ever seen. The micarta looks fine, nothing special. It's flat here. It's got some chamfering on the edges, right? You can mount the pocket clip for left-handed carry, which is nice. I'm glad that they do that. A couple of standoffs and a little lanyard bar back here, which is also nice because we don't have to look at a big stupid hole, right? The vast majority of people who carry pocket knives do not attach lanyards. Every now and then I get like one of the last 7 people on earth who uses lanyards try to argue with me, and they're like, there's more people than you think. Yeah, I mean, there's more people that I'm joking. Like the joke that I make is that there's 7 of you. I know that there are more than 7 of you. But when I say the vast majority of people do not attach a lanyard to a pocket knife, I mean the vast majority. It's just there was no reason to be putting gigantic lanyard holes on pocket knives and prioritizing the lanyard hole over things that are much more important, like the pocket clip. For so many years, companies did that, and they are finally pulling away from it. But still offering lanyard folks, a light in the darkness. You can still attach your lanyard to this, and that's great, right? The pocket clip is okay. I've maintained that this is a B- pocket clip. It is a deep carry clip. It will attach the knife to your pants. It's fairly easy in and out of the pocket. I just don't like the bill. It's fine, and it's sort of an apply all pocket clip. They put it on everything, and that's fine, especially at this price, right? My issue is when they try to slap this, when they make this clip out of titanium and try to slap it on a $250 Wii knife. Don't really like that, but this is fine. It's okay. My Carta version's going to be a little bit more friction in and out of the pocket, but you're going to be all right for the most part. A little bit of shouldering right here. Sorry, still getting used to where the lenses are. And there's a stop pin located in its traditional place. No blade play up, down, left, or right. No lock stick. No double clutch. No pivot lash. Consistent action in here, and a nice click, a nice detent right with. This one is actually a slightly off, just slightly. Most of the time, a little turn of the pivot will correct centering. If that doesn't work, you can do the paper trick. If you don't know what that is, you can type in how to center the blade on a pocket knife metal complex and watch the 20-minute explanation or the 1-minute explanation. It's up to you, right? But you can do that. And if it still doesn't work, well, it's not really all that expensive of a knife, right? As long as it's not rubbing, you should be okay. Though I will add, we do expect perfectly centered blades, even on pocket knives that cost $25 to $30. That should just be something that you just get, right? So you can fix it yourself. It's not something I would send a knife back for, but that's entirely up to you. I don't think this really needs to go on much more. This is an incredibly generic and plain pocket knife that will absolutely serve its purpose. The design is fine. It has elements that have existed in EDC pocket knives for as long as I can remember. There is absolutely nothing special about this knife, including the price tag. Comes in at an underwhelming $45. It's not expensive, but it's also not inexpensive, right? It's not like a wow budget knife, right? Had they priced this thing at $35, or at least, you know, maybe slightly under 40, like go like $38.79 or something like that, I'd be like, yeah, it's pretty cool, right? It's not, obviously that's not a whole lot of money in terms of difference. I'm thinking more by percentage, but the main reason that I am incredibly underwhelmed by this is it's a Sencut, and all these Sencuts and Civivis look pretty much exactly the same. And it's just not all that competitive. There are companies out there that are bringing amazing quality to the table and charging us under $40 sometimes. Or if they're charging us $45, they're doing ridiculously cool things. I mean, again, the Miguron Valona is a $47 knife, right? It's $2 more than this, and it is dramatically more polished. There's just so much more going on. And I think you get a titanium pocket clip. The overall manufacturing quality, I mean, these are all made in China, right? It's not like Sencut's doing something where their stuff is just cost more to make. No, right? It's fine. And honestly, it's recommendable in the sense that it's just that, like, if you like how this knife looks and you're like, I just want a decent knife for $45 or so, then okay, yeah, knock yourself out. You have about 1,000 other things to look at, right? But this is fine. It's going to go on my Cheap Knives I Like playlist. I'm not going to put it on my most recommended knives playlist because there's too many other things that I would recommend first. I mean, honestly, I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to forget this knife exists the moment I turn the camera off. I got this for free from Sencut, who I appreciate. They send me really cool stuff. In fact, some of my favorite budget knives in existence have come from Sencut. This is just incredibly boring, and I just don't really care about it. But I know that some people will, right? And I wanted to be honest and let you know how I felt, give you my opinions, give you what's factually true, right? It is an inexpensive knife. So if you like it, go for it. That's really, I don't know that I can say a whole lot more. Thanks again to Sencut/Civivi/Wii for sending this in for me to take a look at. Please, this will indefinitely get given away at a live stream. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.